Lead the bees.
It's been a little tough start for him with the injuries, and I know how injuries affect every team, and with people out, it's been tough for him. So um, I like their young talent, and Wayne's done a great job keeping them together and keeping them playing hard. In fact, I hadn't seen their UCLA game until this morning, and they hung right in there and really executed well. So we'll have to get ready to play, and our guys will be excited to play. We haven't played for a week, so we should be ready to go.
How do you make sure that you guys don't overlook this team with the fact that they do have Trace Tinkle out, they're injured, they haven't been playing that well on defense, no one's
Well, our guys have been pretty good. I don't think they'll overlook anybody. It's an opportunity to play, and so I'd be very disappointed if our guys didn't come prepared.
What they do well in that UCLA game that let them.
They really controlled the tempo. I think UCLA only scored 70 some points, and it didn't allow them a lot in transition. Got back, put their defense together, kept the zone tight. UCLA didn't shoot the three real well that day, not like they did last night. So they just got the tempo where they wanted it.
You
Your
guys
team
hit
always focused in conference play. I mean, if you look back and you just had all these non-conference games in a row at home, did you feel like maybe it's
Our focus wasn't bad in those games. We just weren't playing real good. It doesn't take much to get off track. So I just think we're playing better. I mentioned the better practices that we had after Christmas. I think that's continued. Our guys worked awfully hard. We had 4 practices, or a 4th practice would be today. We took Wednesday off, but we went Monday, Tuesday, and the guys were focused and practiced pretty hard. Wednesday we took off, and yesterday, the guys got after each other a little bit. So I've been pleased with our practice sessions since our Christmas break.
You talked last year about the unselfishness of Elgin and Dwayne and how much of a key that was. With the way you're spreading points around right now, is this team getting any close to that kind of mentality?
Well, I think it's individuals. I always mention Dwayne, and Jordan Bell last year. After starting his freshman year, came off the bench all for us. So I thought those 2 guys really set the tone for us last year. And I think Jordan and some of the guys have done a good job this year. It's awfully difficult because we have 10 guys who are good basketball players and that want to play. And so it's been tough, for those guys. They've just got to always make a decision what's more important, the team and winning, or individual things. And fortunately, we've had good guys that have always been about the team and put some individual stuff away to have us have a little bit of success.
What do you think it says about this team with the fact that you guys have been able to have 3 different guys shoot, 25 plus points on any given night? That it's not just one guy that's leading this team, but so many playmakers out there for you
Well,
guys.
it shows of our balance. I think we do have a very balanced team. On any given night, we've got a number of guys, who can score, and I think that's always good. I think any time that you have a balanced squad, foul trouble doesn't affect it quite as much. Injury with that possibility doesn't affect it quite as much. So, been really pleased with the way some guys have developed, and I've also been pleased. I thought in the Washington State game, the minutes that Cavell and Keith and Roman gave us really gave us a big lift. And so the development of those 3 guys is critical for our team moving forward too.
You kind of alluded to that depth. What do you think you learned in that road trip to the Washington schools?
Well, we've got a lot of guys who have stayed with it and practiced really hard and want their opportunity. And if someone doesn't respond or doesn't play well, we've got somebody ready to go. And those guys have shown a great amount of character, being patient, waiting to go, and unselfishness, which, to be real honest, these days isn't real common, and been doing this for a long time. And guys want something to happen right away. If it doesn't happen right away, they get really impatient, and but these guys have stayed with it. And I walked out of practice last night after a 2-hour practice, and the 3 guys on the floor still were Roman, Keith, and Cavell. And so that just tells me, how unselfish and how dedicated they are to the team.
Cavell seems like a guy that, with his body and skill set, that could be very useful for you guys down the stretch at some point. What's the biggest thing that he needs to kind of improve upon to get there?
Just consistency. But you're right. He's a talented young man, and he gets down on himself. More than the coaches get down on him. He's his biggest critic, and he just got to learn to play through some of those. Things don't go well, and wait for his opportunity. But Cavell's very talented, very good basketball player, and he's going to have an opportunity to show that before the year's over.
Is it almost tough because Chris set such a kind of high standard of like how easy it looked for him to come from the junior college level last year?
I've had very few junior college players that have performed like Chris, and that quickly. I'm trying to think here. Maybe only Mitch Richmond. He only would be the other one who did that going to the Division I level. So it is very unique. If you've looked over the history, Elgin was a 3-year guy, but his first year was a little bit. Most guys usually this time of year is when they really start playing well. After they've learned the system and got a little hold on it. So it's kind of like a freshman. The transition to Division I basketball is different for everyone. Some freshmen pick up on it quick, some it takes a little longer. And that's same with junior college transfers, but I love, working with junior college transfers. They're guys who've been in programs, they've been in vans, and haven't had many nice hotels and big meals, and all of a sudden they come and they're very appreciative of everything that Oregon provides them. And so they've probably been, as fun to work with and as in tune to Oregon as any of the players that we've had. Just simply the fact that they appreciate everything that the Division I level offers them. And so really enjoyed working with those guys.
Coach, have you had a chance to look back at the play that led to Dylan's ejection, and what'd you think of that play?
I looked at it, and really nothing to say. He fell awkwardly, and that was it.
It's kind of the feeling going into this rivalry game. You guys are favored by quite a bit, and it's a home game, but at the same time, it is that rivalry game, and as people say, anything can kind of happen.
It's the next game on our schedule, and our guys are trying to get better. I don't put a lot more emphasis on it. The media kind of does, and our fans, they like to beat these guys in Washington. I've noticed that over my 7 years. It takes me a while to pick up on things, but I figured that one out. They don't like the Huskies, and they're not real fond of the Beavers. So, so hopefully we'll play well and continue to get better. That's our goal.
Now that you've begun to get more top recruits from high school, do you think you will rely more on JC transfers as much?
We'll take the best players that want to be here, that help us put a team together. With players that come and go, it's about finding a team that wants to compete, wants to be here. So, I don't rule out transfers. I don't rule out good high school players. I don't rule out good junior college transfers. It's more guys that want to be here, want to compete at a high level, and willing to be part of our team. And that, we don't say, well, this guy's a high school guy, so we got to recruit him. But this guy's a junior college player, so we can't recruit him. We recruit players that want to be at the university board.
You guys say you had an off day this week. Did you take an off day too, or what do you do?
Well, I went recruiting. We had an early practice Tuesday, and I flew out and watched the game Tuesday night, and watched some guys on Wednesday, and got back Thursday for practice. So I don't know if I got anything done, but I was out there trying. So thanks.
Thanks, Dana.